I wanted to say something because I was just on the phone with somebody that I talked to on YouTube, and I was talking about men like this who predate on little girls or associated around little girls like this. And there's no women, right? So there's no women in the room. I don't know where the mothers of the children are. I don't think these are their fathers, that's for sure. Um, but I wanted to say this because how do I say this without saying? Okay, so I just wanted to talk about the fact that a lot of white men are angry about not being able to find white women to have children with, right? Or let me turn the volume down. I'm watching like a history thing. But I just want to say this. When little girls are violated by grown men, no matter what race they come from or what race they're violated from, but usually it's always going to be a man who looks more similar to her that is in proximity to harming her. And the fact that MAGA doesn't have a problem with all of this, and let me play this. So let me turn the volume down or off, because I'm thoroughly disgusted with this. So when you have women, and I know a lot of white women who have like drug addiction problems, but not just the regular drug addiction problems like street market drug addiction, but I'm talking about drug addiction with prescription drugs and stuff. And these are supposed to be women who are, look, let's go back. These are supposed to be women who are a lot of them are very wealthy, have careers and things like that. A lot of that stems from being violated as a child, and especially white women, I would say, and these type of white men. I don't consider these men. I don't. When people talk about what is toxic masculinity, this is what I'm speaking of. Toxic masculinity violates young girls or young women, rapes them, hurts them. That's toxic masculinity, among other things. That's just a few things that labels them as being toxic masculine. But a lot of times when women go through that, and it's crazy because these white women will grow up, these little girls like this will grow up to marry white men, and then they'll abort their children. They don't want their children. They don't want to have children. And one of the reasons why you wouldn't want to have children is because you were violated as a child. And you wouldn't want that for your child. So these white men, they know what's going on in these circles. And they don't protect and they don't care. They don't protect their daughters. They don't care what happens to their daughters. To them, their daughters are they're just a thing to be used by other men, or to use their daughter to be able to gain wealth or gain something from other types of men who are in a higher tax bracket, higher, I won't even say tax bracket because these people don't even pay taxes, a higher income structure, right? And so they don't mind putting their daughters up um, as property, something to be used. But when men don't understand why these women, these white women, don't want to have their children and produce white children offspring, you need to go back and you need to figure it out. Why don't they? Why don't they want to have your children? Why don't they want to? They'll marry you, but they don't really want to have your children, right? A lot of them. And the women, the white women that are having children with white men, and I'm not talking about this group of type of men. It's because they're showing some type of care. And when I say these type of white men, all white men are not like this, or what they consider to be white men. Let me just say this: the racial makeup of white doesn't even exist as a race. I'm talking about pale as fuck, right? If you aren't protecting your daughters against violators like this, and then they're saying that Trump's going to try and let P. Diddy off. Ghislaine Maxwell off. Is that her name again? I don't even know how to say her name. And then the Tate brothers, who were convicted or were charged in one of those European countries, I can't think of which one, and Trump brought them back to the United States. Sex traffickers. You have to understand, why would a man like Trump, who's president, want to give pardons to sex traffickers and violators? Why would he do that? So he's already brought the Tate brothers back. He's talking about getting P. Diddy off. And Ghislaine Maxwell, is that her name? Maxine, I don't know what her fucking name is. It makes you, I think, but anybody with critical thinking would say, why? Why, if you are nothing like the sort, would you let them off? Why would you give them a pardon? Why? Why would you do that? So, I'm saying don't trust. Don't trust what you've been told. Because this don't look right. This does not look right. And I feel sorry for all those little girls that have been violated, because a lot of them are not going to get the justice that they need. And then Trump's talking about he's going to re-implement mental institutions. Do they know the history of the mental institutions? Because a lot of women, when their husbands didn't want them anymore when they were married, their husbands would make a lie up, and then they would put their wives in insane asylums. And they would do lobotomies and things like that, illegal. They would put their daughters in there. After violating their daughters and raping their daughters, and their daughters going Fruit Loops because of the mental insanity of it all, then they would put their daughters in these mental institutions. So, yeah, Trump wants to implement that again. Those are the hush places. This is so crazy to me. This really would be the Twilight Zone if it wasn't so fucking for real. It's sickening.